welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of January 10 to the 16th. Okay, so we're going to start off for Taurus by selecting an oracle card from the Isis Oracle deck, and we will interpret that at the end of your reading as your closing messages. Okay, there's the card. We'll save that for the end of the reading. And let's jump right into the tarot cards here for Taurus to see what messages we have for Taurus as they make their way through their week. Hopefully you are having a nice beginning to the new year, everyone. Okay, Taurus. Let's see here. What's going on for Taurus? We got Judgment in reverse coming out right away. Interesting. So something doesn't feel fair. Something feels unfair. Something feels like, yes, something feels, we got Temperance in reverse as well. So you're not moderating your emotions. You're not really staying mindful. You don't think stuff is fair. You're really feeling life through your emotions right now. And you're not tapped into your intuition. You're looking at life in a very 3D way, which we do in times, especially in times that we don't think is fair. We tend to over-plan maybe, or overthink instead of be over-inspired, right? Like that Eight of Wands, when you compare the Eight of Wands to the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords is a time of really overthinking things, and the Eight of Wands to me in reverse is a time of not tapping into your imagination or your intuition. You're just looking at the world sort of happening around you and saying, that's not fair. I don't like that. I don't like the way that feels. Seeing Temperance in reverse to me suggests that you're not moderating your emotions with your intuition. You're not staying mindful. You're not particularly grounded. There's the Knight of Pentacles. Wanting you to ground, wanting you to look around mindfully at the acts of every day, to see, to be grateful and to see that things on a deeper level. The Knight of Wands, or sorry, I keep saying the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles to me is a time where we are being encouraged to really see what's around us. And that there may be something emerging, right? Like that's the thing, is to be mindful of what's going on around you, because something could be shifting. Something could be shifting. And I feel like you've closed out a cycle here, Taurus, and you don't like the ending. You're not a fan of how this came out. You don't think it's fair. You feel like, maybe a part of you doesn't realize just how prosperous and creative you are. I feel like we could be reading right now for someone who is having, there is maybe something going on with someone's mother. I'm seeing the Empress here. So if that resonates for you, Taurus, perhaps you're making a lot of efforts with your mother and nothing is working. And that's frustrating you, and you don't feel like it's fair. It's not keeping you balanced, because it feels like you're almost trying to, you're really trying to use all of your efforts and skills and talents to be part of something here, to create some outcome, and it's just not happening. But it's almost like you don't see what's right in front of you. You're too focused on the obstacles. And I feel like some of those obstacles could involve a maternal figure. Some of those obstacles could involve a mother or a maternal figure. Now, there is, at the root of this issue, there is a power struggle. There is a power struggle, and it's like there's differences of opinions with this Five of Wands in reverse. There is differences of opinions, and there's a lot of egos here challenging each other, and no one is able to see out of this. Yeah, you're really being encouraged to not look at this with your eyes of the ego. Look at it through your spiritual lens to see that this is actually, it's something designed to teach all of the people involved something, right? So perhaps for Taurus. Oh, I didn't notice the camera. I'm sorry about that. I'll try and fix that in editing if it was too bright. It's almost like Taurus is trying to help, but the egos of the people that the Taurus is trying to help are not allowing that. And that's causing a lot of frustration for Taurus. And I feel like this could involve mother because of this Empress card where it's laying here. And there is a transformation for Taurus in this. You know, that's the interesting part. There is a lesson in manifestation. There is a lesson in choosing what you focus on. And there is a lesson here with respect to sort of not engaging with this ego fight, you know, like to sort of rise above it. There's the Ace of Rods. So that on the bottom of the deck, that tells me you almost need to rise above this by not allowing yourself to sort of just look at this through the eyes of the ego and this need to control outcomes. You need to almost release that, accept that the battle of egos going on here. Let that transform you. There's a lesson here for you. This is happening around you, Taurus. Like, it's not impacting you personally. It's impacting, I think, a mother figure. And it's also challenging you to look beyond the everyday outcomes and not say that's not fair. Yeah, 10 of Swords in reverse. It's almost like you're looking at the outcomes here, Taurus, and you're like, that's just not fair. It's not fair. You know, and it's like you're having a hard time motivating yourself as a result of these thoughts that you have. The Hermit, yeah, you might be alienating yourself from people as opposed to understanding the greater wisdom here. You might be sort of tempted to hide from people instead of really sort of shed some light on this. And maybe it's because it's frustrating you. Yeah, there's that 8. I was saying that at the beginning of the reading. There's the 8 of Swords right on the 8 of Wands, both in reverse. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. I feel like you're at a time where you've got to release this mental trap and tap into that intuition here. Tap into the intuitive part of yourself that can look at the same situation and have a very different perception, you know. And that Knight of Pentacles that wants to sort of bring in this mindfulness and gratitude for the everyday. See, Sun in reverse right before the Sun upright. There's the Sun upright. I feel like that is saying that it's like you don't see how good things are actually. There is a call for gratitude. Okay, there's a call for gratitude here, Taurus, and one of mindfulness and trust in divine timing. Hanged Man on the Sun upright. So really, really seeing that divine timing will set things right. And you almost need to stop trying to force things into place and let things fall into place wherever they may fall. And trust that it'll be fine. And that whatever happens, you'll figure it out. Do you know what I mean? You'll figure it out in the moment. But I almost feel like Taurus is yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. Taurus is feeling bummed out because they are perceiving loss and lack all over the place. So 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. So you're emotionally feeling really depressed and down and sort of demotivated because all you are sort of focused on is how shitty things are. And that you're perceiving things as a loss and things are sad and tragic and loss and lack, and you're not seeing that opportunity. It's almost like you feel like so consumed by this situation that you just see as so full of loss that you're not seeing that there's actually an emotional opportunity here. And it's bumming you out. That's the other thing, is that this conflict that you can't control, right? This battle of egos that you can't really control. It's making you look at things in a very low vibing sort of lack mentality perspective, which is as a result bumming you right out. It's bumming you out. It's making you feel depressed. It's making you feel dissatisfied emotionally, right? And I think it's because you just need a new perspective here. Strength, yeah, strength and confidence that any obstacle can be overcome is what you need, instead of this like, my efforts aren't yielding any outcomes attitude. Is to really believe in yourself, and to believe in the, I always think of that strength card as also suggesting that things come along to challenge us for a reason and to teach us something. It's not meant to create this emotional presence that causes you to sit in your emotions for too long. You know, emotions are good in the sense that they allow us to feel experiences instead of just look at them, right? We can actually have a feeling associated with it. But that feeling is there to help you understand something. It's not meant to keep you as a prisoner forever, right? Which is the danger of this Four of Cups, is that if you sit there in this feeling of lack and loss and dissatisfaction for too long, what will the result be? Justice. Like I'm saying, I feel like you don't think something is fair when it comes to your mom or a maternal figure. There's something going on here, and you've decided it's not fair. You've decided it's not fair, and I feel like that decision is sort of creating the platform for you to move on, right? Like you're looking at things from the perspective that they're not fair, and that's your jumping off point. So then everything in this situation is going to be not fair. Do you know what I mean? Like once you've sort of put that out there, that's what this means, it's not fair. There's the Magician with the Queen of Cups. That says to me that you're really like emotionally manifesting things with your emotions. You're emotional right now, and you feel a lot of compassion, but it's almost like that emotional state is what's driving the creation of what's to be. And you know what I mean? Like seeing these two together says to me that whatever emotional state you're holding, whatever emotional vibration you're holding, that is manifesting. That is manifesting. It is the universe being in its reflective nature, bringing to you experiences that match your vibration. So if your vibration is that this isn't fair, and that, there's a lot of I can't talk, that there's a lot of lack around me, that there's a lot of lack around me, you're going to lock yourself into that. Maybe that's why I said it that way. This Nine of Wands in reverse is to me, it's a moment of challenge for you to make a choice on that Two of Swords. You're in a position right now where it's like the self-care needs to be increased so that you can see things more clearly. So perhaps you need to do some work on yourself, so that, and maybe that's why we saw that Hermit in reverse, is that this is a time for your inner reflection. This isn't a time for you to sort of be focused too heavily on what's going on in this other storyline that involves the maternal figure. But I feel like it's like that storyline is teaching you something about yourself, Taurus, and that's what you need to pay attention to. Because yes, self-discovery is what is going on here. This storyline is teaching you something about yourself. And it's transformative because of that Death card. There is something transforming here. Page of Pentacles in reverse on the Death card. So it's like, to me, seeing the Page of Pentacles in reverse suggests that you, again, you don't see that the universe is actually gifting you something here with that page. This is a transformation, but you don't see it. You're too invested in the storyline that has to do with this unfair situation with your maternal figure. And so as a result, it's like everything has gone out the window because of that. And yet there is a lesson here for you to learn. Yeah, Seven of Wands, that's you right now, Taurus. You're just battling, right? You're battling. You're looking over your shoulder and you're battling with the external world here, when really all you need to do is sort of focus on yourself, focus on your healing, and allowing some of this to shift, this perspective that you're holding that's bumming you out, right? It's interesting. You're really looking at things as from the perspective of worst case scenario instead of best case scenario. Very interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at the oracle card we pulled from the beginning. Now, okay, you received divine destiny. I'll read to you from the book. It says here, the divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as an inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more from him or herself to the cause. It might be more wisdom, focus, intelligence, and surrender to the divine. Yes, this is all in your reading right now. I love that. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. This part of you will lead you to your spiritual success. Absolutely. This is an interesting message for you to receive, considering what we discovered in your reading, because really you are being called to sort of look at this in a different way. You're being called to see that there is something in this experience that you're having that needs you to call upon your wisdom. And we see here the Hermit in reverse. I feel like you're not tapping into that wisdom. And that will serve you here. And this inner resourcefulness and determination that we see with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like seeing the Sun in reverse as a clarifier, that says to me you're not tapping into that either. That there is something here that needs to be surrendered to the divine, and there is a transformation. That Hanged Man here is a message of saying that, you know, this is the time to surrender to the divine. That's what the Hanged Man's all about, and it's right on the Sun. So that says to me that by surrendering to the divine, you're going to experience this very promising, sustainable, and positive outcome. And so that is what you're being guided to do here, Taurus, is to surrender to the divine destiny, as opposed to sort of railing against it, right? And seeing things around you as lack, instead of part of the story. It's just part of the story. It's not the story, it's part of the story. And that's what's bumming you out. That's what's keeping you down. So it's interesting. Taurus is really being guided here to trust in the divine destiny of their situation that they find themselves in. And that spiritual work will guide you through this process and help you to sort of see things in a different way. It's very, very interesting reading here for you, Taurus. I just want to see if there's anything else I want to say about this card. Don't give up the fight. Shift your approach. Change the expectation and go within to find the resources you require, right? And that will lead you down maybe even a completely different path, which is what I'm feeling here when I see that Four of Cups, is that that's what you need. But you're not seeing that opportunity right now because you're focused on lack. That's right. Wow. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Taurus. What an interesting message. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email and a description of the readings I offer can be found below. As always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we will see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.